Hi, this is Brandon from TatOG Tech, back here again with another episode of Linux Sunday. And you always know it's Linux Sundays because you hear the air horn. All right, thank you very much for joining me today, folks. Today we're going to be continuing the first season of Learning Linux with TatOG using Ryan's tutorials covering wildcards. The link to Ryan's tutorials will be down below. I highly encourage you to follow along and check out the activities he includes. I will not be going through them here, but they can really help you apply these concepts. All right, so to kind of get right into it, the first thing I want to kind of do is talk about what exactly are wildcards. Now, when we're talking about a wildcard is a symbol or set of symbols that stands for other characters. They can be used to substitute for any other character or characters. And Ryan's tutorials describes them as a set of building blocks to allow you to create a pattern defining a set of files or directories. And really, the way I sum it up is it makes it really easy to find things. We're going to be doing it on a very simplified scale. I do have a Ubuntu 20.04 virtual machine that's running right here in front of us. We're going to be primarily just working mainly out of the home directory and with just a handful of files just to kind of show you the concepts. Now, there's three kind of starter wildcards that we're going to go ahead and start with you today. The first one is going to be the little star. The second one will be the question mark. And the third will be the brackets. All right, and again, if I'm not saying those correctly, go ahead and let me know down below the proper way to say it and do it. And I will go ahead and make sure to use that proper terminology in the future. All right, so the little star, it represents 0 or more characters. So you can represent really just any number of characters with this symbol or wildcard. And if you put the star before the input, if you put the star before the input, it will look for items ending with the input. Now, if you put that star after the input, it will look for items beginning in that input. Now, the next one I want to go over is going to be the question mark. And we'll get into some examples here in just a minute. The question mark represents a single character, so it could represent an A, it could represent a 1. Really, it just represents a single character, just kind of like how last week when we were talking about deleting things with the X in Vim. This is the same kind of thing, as it represents just a single character. Now, the third one is the brackets, and that is going to represent a range of characters. If it's only individual letters that are included, it will only look for those characters. If you can use a range of characters using the dash. So, for example, you would just do 0 through 9, and it would search for anything with 0 through 9 present. You can also use the caret symbol, and a list of characters will allow you to search for characters that are not the ones listed. Now, this particular with these wildcards, they can be used in combination with one another, and you'll kind of notice that really as you get away from when you're utilizing the brackets, you're going to be using at least one of the other forms of wildcards. Now, next I'm going to be going over examples using the wildcards. Before I do that, I just wanted to ask you to like the video if you are enjoying, and add a comment down below with things that you would like to see in my next Text Bite series. The Text Bite series is where I cover a topic, a quick tech topic in about a minute. So definitely looking for some ideas, stuff short and sweet. Thank you very much for that. Now let's go ahead and get into those examples. Now the first thing that I want to go ahead and do is we're just going to go ahead and use the star. So the first one I'm going to go ahead and run is ls, and then we're going to put the star, and then we're going to do .jpg. We're looking for some JPEG files, and look at that. We've got one called car and one called cat here in our home directory. Now let's go ahead and do another example. We're going to do cat, and then we're going to go do, and then we're going to put the star there again, and that's going to actually go ahead and open up our file, which is actually just called dog. Now let's go ahead and do one a little bit different here. We're going to do cat again, and we're going to do star RIES. Oh, let me check here and make sure I've still got it. And I do apologize about that. We're going to go ahead and do ls, then star KES. Funny story with the way this happened. And I apologize. Get back to that story here in just a second. We're going to do cat KES. And that's going to go ahead and give us the little cakes list that I put together there. Now, funny story is that yesterday I started with a virtual machine, ran into some issues, and then lost all of that progress with these files on that virtual machine. So when I put this one together, I completely forgot to adjust that. But thank you very much for your patience in doing that. Now let's go ahead and move on to the question mark example. Let me just issue a clear here real quick. And let's go ahead and do an ls, and we're going to do 5. We're going to go ahead and do 5 question marks. And oh, look at that. We've got 3 separate things. We've got 2 files and then 1 directory showing with 5 characters. And again, that question mark is represents a single character. I've got one more example here of the question marks that I want to go ahead and go over, and that's going to be ls question mark question mark question mark .jpg. And oh, there's those 2 JPEG files again, the cat and car ones. All right, now let's go ahead and go over some bracket examples. Now, the only one I really haven't shown is the example with the caret, but you could always just do a quick Google search, or even on Ryan's tutorials, he does show an example of the caret. And I just don't have any files to set up. And again, with the issue that happened yesterday, I forgot to put that in there. But there's one listed down right before the section called Some Real World Examples. The last one actually shows an example of the caret. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Or if you're looking at it, then you can see it right there. So let's go ahead and go on to the bracket examples now. So the first thing I want to go ahead and do is an ls, and then we're going to do a do, and then we're going to go ahead and put the bracket back around there, and then we're going to go ahead and put the star, and voila, we have our file dogs. Now let's go ahead and do a ls again. This time we're going to go ahead and put the brackets. We're going to put cd, then we're going to close the bracket, and we're going to put the star there. And oh, look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different files that actually show meeting that criteria. So that's great. Now let's go ahead and do one more example of the brackets. Now that's going to be, let's do cat, and then we can put a C, and then we're going to put 4 question marks. All right, perfect. There we are. All right, and you can see that right there. That is our cakes file again. Now here is a combination that will go ahead and give us a couple examples mixing these together, and feel free to get creative with them. Let's do a file. I'm sorry, actually, hold on one second. Actually, let's do an ls. Then we're going to do a tilde, and then /, and then a star. All right, perfect. And there we go. And really, we're just listing the files that are in that particular directory, and we can see them all there with their paths included, which is kind of neat, right? Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and do is do one more. We're going to do an issue clear here, and then we're going to go ahead and do an ls, and then we're going to do a BC, then we're going to close that one up. We're going to do 3 question marks, then we're going to hit the star, and boom. All right, perfect. So basically what we're saying here is list the items that have a B or C and have a total of at least that many characters afterwards. And then actually really, we probably didn't need the question marks here, but hey, we added them together, and you can still do it this way. If you want to do that extra work, go right ahead. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and go over some of Ryan's examples. I'm basically going to take the exact same examples and put them here to my particular system, just to kind of give you some real world scenarios where you might use these. Because remember, I'm learning this along with you. All right, so let's go ahead and do file. We're going to do a tilde again, then we're going to do a forward, and then we're going to do a star. And that's going to go ahead and list the file type of all the different files that are listed in that particular, in my home directory. Now, let's go ahead and move some files around. We're going to do an MB, and we're going to do a star, period, 2 question marks, a G, and then we're going to go ahead and put in pictures. Well, actually, before I do that, let me show you what I've got here. All right, so we've got cat, car, JPEGs. Those are going to be the ones that we're going to be moving here. We're going to do an MB, and then we're going to go ahead and do a star, and then a star, then a period, and then question mark, and then G. And then we're going to go ahead and do pictures. All right, now if we ls in our current directory, where'd they go? And then let's go ahead and do an ls pictures. And we can see that they have successfully been moved to the pictures directory. Now let's do one last example. We're going to just issue a clear here. We're going to do an ls, and we're going to do an L, and then the home. Dot bash underscore star. All right, so basically we're looking at the long version of these two, of any file that meets this criteria, which in this case is going to be the bash history as well as the bash logout. And you might be wondering, where did those files come from? Because I don't see them there. Let's do, and just remember that command from earlier episode is ls-a, and we can see those files here as hidden files because they've got those periods in front of them. All right, so that's it for this topic. Just remember, there will be a second season that will be much more in depth. If you like the content, go ahead and give it a. If you like content like this, please subscribe with the red button below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not like the video, give it a thumbs down and leave a comment down below letting me know what you did not like. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, feedback, or just want to say hi. Thank you very much for watching my video, and have a great day.